afternoon and thanks for joining us. A bridge crossing the South Saskatchewan River on Muskoday First Nation has been renamed. Today, community members gathered to celebrate the unveiling of the Chief John Smith Bridge. Signs marking the new name replacing the Muskoday Bridge were also unveiled today. Chief John Smith signed Treaty 6 on behalf of Muskoday First Nation 150 years ago. The bridge has been named in honor of Smith's legacy and his role as a leader. The name change is done through a partnership between Muskoday First Nation and the province.
It was a collective aspiration to honor this chief, to coincide with signing of the treaty 150 years ago this year.
The province says the new name reflects a shared commitment to recognizing Indigenous history, celebrating treaty relationships, and advancing reconciliation. A video shared to social media showing the arrest of a 40-year-old woman Monday is marking the mourning on the Muskoday First Nation has sparked concern, with some saying the RCMP officers used excessive force. The video may be disturbing to some viewers. The minute-and-a-half-long video does not capture the events leading up to the arrest, but the woman, Rose Georgina Angus, is seen with blood running down her face. The situation has prompted backlash. Angus's daughter, who posted the video, also stated she's organizing a peaceful protest at the Loon Lake RCMP detachment. In a statement, RCMP, during the arrest of two women who were wanted on a warrant, Angus became confrontational and punched two police officers. Mounties say Angus was told to stop moving, but she left the front steps of the home and was arrested. Angus is facing 4 criminal charges, including possession of cocaine and assaulting a police officer in connection to Monday's incident. CTV has reached out to Angus's family for comment. An inquest into the death of a man who died in police custody in northeastern Saskatchewan is scheduled for next month. 34-year-old Trevor Charles died on July 16, 2023, after going into medical distress in his cell at the Pelican Narrows RCMP detachment. He was taken to the local medical center by paramedics, where he was pronounced deceased. The inquest into his death has been scheduled for August 18th to 21st in Creighton. RCMP have arrested a 28-year-old man after a dispute between two drivers on Highway 165 on Sunday. A little before 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, RCMP were called to report of a man who was injured in a rural area between Pine House and LaRange. Officers learned the drivers of a gray truck and the drivers of a white truck got into a dispute, and a firearm was discharged, injuring the driver of the white truck. Police say he was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Officers began searching for a second possibly injured man that was in the gray truck. Officers located the truck and attempted a stop, but the driver fled. Police later found the driver in a treed area and arrested him. 28-year-old Miami Morin appeared today in provincial court. Prince Albert police are again asking the public for information on the disappearance of a man 46 years ago. Robert Wiggins was last seen on July 28, 1980. Police say he was dropped off by friends at a home in the 500 block of 11th Street East in Prince Albert just before sunrise. Wiggins' wallet was found in the summer or fall of 1980 along Highway 16 near Radisson. It had $300 in cash and a check. Anyone who knows anything about the disappearance of Robert Wiggins is asked to contact Prince Albert Police. Jeff, how's it going out there in the hot outdoors?
It is the hot outdoors, and a little breezy in some locations, but more than anything, we are dealing with heat alerts, and the potential for some certainly thunderstorm activity is there. Once again, we see some ground clutter that's so hot out there, it sort of fools the radar. And there is a lot of the active weather being steered to the north because of the big heat dome, big high pressure ridges really sort of keeping any kind of active weather away from the prairies. But what's sticking around are hot temperatures, and we'll talk about that later on.
Photo speed enforcement is about to resume in Saskatchewan. SGI says it has secured a new vendor for the photo speed enforcement program. Global Traffic Group will start in August. SGI says the program will continue to work the same way as before, and fines will stay the same. Existing camera boxes will be replaced with pole-mounted cameras. The cameras will be limited to previously approved locations with appropriate signage, and no new locations will be added. While the cameras are being replaced, police will continue to enforce speed limits across the province. SGI says the goal of photo speed enforcement is 0 tickets and 0 crashes. Another appeal has been filed in the case of a former Saskatchewan Mountie serving time in prison for the death of his former lover. In 2024, Bernie Herman was convicted of manslaughter in the 2021 shooting death of Braden Herman. The two were not related. During his trial, court heard Bernie Herman was in uniform at the time of the killing. Herman was originally charged with first-degree murder. That was downgraded to second-degree murder. The Crown appealed to overturn Herman's conviction of the lesser charge of manslaughter instead of second-degree murder. Herman also appealed his conviction and sentence. Both conviction appeals were denied, but a judge did set aside Herman's original 11-year sentence, imposing one of just over 7 years. Now the Crown is appealing to the Supreme Court of Canada, asking it to determine if the manslaughter conviction should be upheld rather than the second-degree murder and whether a new trial should be ordered. Saskatchewan is touting thousands of healthcare hires, but the health minister couldn't say how many workers it lost along the way. It's making it unclear about how much the workforce has actually grown. The province says more than 7,500 healthcare workers have joined the system in the past 4 years. But when asked about how many workers left over that same period, Health Minister Jeremy Cockrell could not provide a number. Of those 7,500 healthcare workers, nearly 800 or 10% are physicians. One of them is Dr. Brian Stout, who is from Florida. He began working at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital in April after seeing an online recruitment advertisement.
We decided this is a good place to raise a family, and here we are.
While the province is celebrating international recruitment success, it says efforts will continue as Saskatchewan's growing population puts more pressure on the healthcare system. Premier Scott Moe is in Washington today for the funeral of Senator Lindsey Graham. Moe joins other government officials representing Canada who were invited by the Graham family. Moe met with Graham several times, including last year, where they discussed trade and the energy sector. Graham came to Saskatchewan in 2009 and 2015, including visiting the legislature, thanking troops for their service in Afghanistan. Moe said in a release today that Graham had a deep understanding of Saskatchewan and its importance to North America, energy and food security. Graham died of a heart issue at 71. Researchers at the University of Saskatchewan are studying the experiences of therapy dogs and the role animals play in their communities. The team hopes to learn more about how our connections with animals can support our health and well-being. They're also exploring some of the challenges people face, including losing a pet or not being able to care for an animal because of financial pressures. The 5-year study was inspired by what researcher Colleen Dell noticed after the pandemic as more people turned to animals for emotional support.
People are more and more disconnected from others in their lives and so forth, and they're geared towards getting some of that important support and so forth from animals in their lives. So that's really where the idea came from.
She was just all over one guy. She would.
Dell says the therapy dogs will visit a variety of facilities. Researchers will then interview and survey participants while also using creative ways to capture their experiences and better understand the impact of those interactions. Still to come on CTV News, a local musician hoping to etch his name in country music history. Jasmine Peltier catches up with Josh Stumpf ahead of the CCMAs.
I am here with a PA-raised musician, Josh Stumpf, who's been nominated for 2 CCMAs, the Breakthrough Artist and Fans' Choice. Yeah? So how did it feel when you first found out about those nominations?
I was shocked. I was overcome with joy and just absolutely in awe. It was awesome.
What have been some of the highlights of your career over the last year?
This definitely. I've gotten some SCMA nominations. I've won 1 SCMA award. And honestly, every year it just kind of keeps getting better. There's cooler stuff that I get to do, cooler people that I get to meet, and cooler places that I get to go. Last year, for sure, we went on a big radio tour, kind of coast to coast, and hit a bunch of radio stations, and I got to see all of the country pretty much. So, yeah.
Really cool. So you write your own music. What are some of your biggest inspirations?
Kind of just whatever's going on in my life. Sometimes it's, you know, some little things that you see and you jot something down on your phone. And the way a lot of our writes work now is you'll go sit in a room with, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 other people and be like, hey, you know, I saw this the other day, kind of gave you the idea for this concept or gave you this hook line or whatever. It can honestly be anything, really.
In terms of sound, is there anyone on the country charts right now that you would compare yourself to, just in terms of similarities?
I've heard Stapleton a lot because I got the rasp, I guess. I've heard Wallen a couple of times. This just sounds like I'm amping myself up.
No. If someone else told you, you're in the clear.
Those would be the 2 that I hear the most, I'd say.
What is it about country music specifically that kind of drove you in that direction?
It's kind of always what was playing at home on the radio. It's always what I've listened to. The lyrical content of country music has kind of always been more what my life has been centered around. So it kind of just felt natural to go that direction as opposed to anything else.
Do you have any shows coming up in the next couple months here?
Yeah, I'm doing Big Valley Jamboree this weekend. I'm doing Misty City Music Festival in September at Niagara Falls. I'm doing Groundwater in Australia in October. And me and my fiance put on a festival called Sunset Country Music Festival that I'll be doing here in August.
If you were to recommend one song, if someone wanted to start listening to everything that you've written, what would be the one song you think would be probably a good gateway?
Highway Money is the one that kind of got everything going for me. That was the first single we put out with the label, and that was the one that kind of took off, and it was my first top 10. So I would recommend go listen to that one.
Hey, great. So if you're interested in hearing more of Josh, you can check out Highway Money. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jeff's back with a detailed look at weather when we return. And doctors say a summer trend returns. Eating disorders among young people are spiking. All right, Jeff, right now you've got the beautiful Prince Albert skyline behind you, but in a moment we're going to get a look at what I think are almost like bingo dabbers kind of set between the cities, and I'm trying to figure out what are those little green bingo dabber marks that are kind of set around the Bermuda Triangle of Pete.
Well, I'm actually glad you brought it up, John, because they're what's called ground clutter, and so they aren't real radar signatures in the traditional sense. It's not any reflection, but it's always associated with heat. So we get these hot situations, and of course down in many parts of the province we're under heat warnings, and there's just so much heat that the reflectivity or the radar situation is, and I can't explain the physics of it, but ultimately is the heat that impairs the ability of the radar to give you a true look. But it does reflect something, and it's reflecting sort of what the heat signature is, but it doesn't have anything to do with active weather. So glad you asked about that. But we do have some active weather. As I mentioned, we got the big heat dome down in the States, and then the high ridging sort of across northern areas, and the jet stream is sort of in place that way as well. And so the jet stream is steering most of the active weather to the north. So if we do see some active weather in Saskatchewan, it's going to be in northern areas. So that's what we've got going on. Oh, look at that. Yeah, some active weather for northern parts of Canada as a low sort of slides up over that ridge and into Alberta and Saskatchewan. But the weather in central and southern areas, it remains on the hot side. 14 degrees for Spiritwood, and the Battlefords under clear skies, clear in Candle Lake, 15 clear as well in Nipawin, 16, 17 in Melfort, also 17 in Birch Hills, and 16 in Rostern. So some fairly uncomfortable conditions if you don't have air conditioning. So if you can get yourself a fan, some cold compresses, that helps out a lot. It works for me. Cloudy, or there's sunshine, big time sunshine right throughout the region for Wednesday. We have sunshine and 24 tomorrow for Spiritwood, 26 for the Battlefords, 26 as well in Candle Lake, Birch Hills, and Rostern and Melfort, and lots of sunshine in Nipawin. Maybe that's good. Is that good for the fishing? I think it might be a little hot for the fishing up in Tobin, but nonetheless, it's going to be sunny and 28 degrees in Nipawin tomorrow. For a detailed look at the gateway city, so Prince Albert's expected to see a slight chance of some showers tonight, but it does come with the risk of a thunderstorm, and that is pretty much par for the course. I know it sounds like a broken record, but that's basically what we've been dealing with for a number of days, if not a couple of weeks. 16 degrees the overnight temperature, winds out of the southeast at 20. The winds shift around a little bit and they pick up some speed. Winds from the northwest at 30 tomorrow under sunny skies and a high of 26. So slightly, but just ever so slightly above seasonal values. And then as we head into the long weekend, Thursday 26, 27 on Friday, Saturday 30 big degrees, Sunday 23, holiday Monday, mainly cloudy skies and 20 degrees. And on Tuesday, we've got ourselves 22 degrees under mainly cloudy skies. So after we peak out at 30 on Saturday, things start to cool off. And I think a lot of people, John, will be welcoming that cool down.
They will for sure, and I might expose my lack of Saskatchewan roots. What would it count, or what is a bingo score? Like you have to get a line across or an X? Or
there are many different ways. You've got the X, you've got the T, you've got the L. You know, it's time to head out to a bingo and find out how many different. You know, but there's always the blackout for the big money.
There you go. I never got that, that's for sure. Well, Jeff, 3 Saskatoon athletes are headed to Paris to compete at the World Freestyle and Rhythmic Twirl Championships. The Trilogy twirling team has been training all summer for the competition, which starts next week. Abby Fendelet and Brooke Elchuk are Canada's top junior pair representing Canada in Paris. Elchuk is also an alternate for individual rhythmic twirl. Alexandra Malley is an alternate in senior freestyle. And even though they may not compete, they're training as though they will. While the athletes say the backstage energy will be positive, they do expect it to be intense.
These athletes have been preparing their whole life for this competition. This summer specifically, we've been training kind of 3 to 4 hours a day. They were at the national championships at the beginning of July in Regina, and then since then we've been training 3 to 4 hours a day.
The athletes say they're excited to showcase what has put Canadian baton twirling on the map. The World Freestyle and Rhythmic Twirl Championship starts Monday. The competitions begin Wednesday. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are back on the field practicing after the loss last week to Edmonton. This week, the Riders take on those same Elks in Edmonton with a chance at revenge in the season series. The team says it needs to shore up on defense.
Ball carrier to Baton Leaker, no, the play fake. And Fajardo wide open for Mack, who hangs onto it.
Elks quarterback Cody Fajardo threw for more than 500 yards and 4 touchdowns on Thursday. Going into Week 8, the Riders had only given up 9 big plays. Those are rushes of 20 or more and passing plays of more than 30 yards. They gave up 5 last week at home.
We played really well. You know, it looks bad when, you know, you look at the stats and you say he throws 500 yards and things like that. But, you know, for the majority of the game, I feel like we played well. We just had a couple busts, and, you know, that's just unlike us, and we just got to get those things cleaned up.
They did what they were supposed to do, right? They came in, they chopped our head off at home. So we get to go on the road and kind of return the favor, and we'd like to go and do that emphatically.
Despite the loss, the Riders are still one of the top defenses in the league, giving up the fewest points, second fewest rush yards, and fewest pass yards. Game time is 5 o'clock in Edmonton.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Doctors say they are noticing a spike in eating disorders among young people. They say the problem comes more common during the summer months. Sweeta Rassi has the details.
Summer is the season many look forward to, but for some, it's the hardest time of the year. Dialogue, a Montreal-based virtual healthcare provider, is seeing a 57% jump in consultations for eating disorders.
It's a problem that is seen most often in the summer.
Dr. Mark Robbins says changes in routine, a lack of school support, and the pressure of having a beach body explain the rise.
This is cyclical. It is a seasonal variation that we observe.
The numbers are even worse for young people. Consultations are up 73% for people aged 17 to 25. Lise André-Massé at Anorexia and Bulimia Quebec says nearly 300,000 people in the province live with an eating disorder.
We know that the first sign can start at 4 years old.
She says eating disorders can affect anyone. Men, she says, are often more pressured to look muscular, whereas women feel the need to look thin, especially on social media. Last summer, the hashtag Skinny Talk was banned on TikTok because it encouraged eating disorder behaviors.
We reach out to TikTok and say that it's something that should be banned.
Now, if you type Skinny Talk, what comes up are helplines, including one from Anorexia and Bulimia Quebec. But the problem doesn't just go away.
But they reinvent themselves. So the fact that this is there, it's concerning.
Eating disorders are complex and in some cases deadly. And with summer in full swing, experts say reaching out for help is crucial. Sweet Arasi, CTV News.
All right, Jeff, I guess in Saskatchewan, if he runs away, it's probably going to be hard to find. But this little guy, if he runs away in Saskatchewan, it'll be tough. A major wildlife study has revealed new images of the Amazon's elusive ghost dog. More commonly known as the short-eared dog, it's one of the least known canids, I should say, and least frequently seen carnivores in Latin America. They began in 2001, and researchers from the Wildlife Conservation Society in Bolivia used 34 motion-triggered cameras across parts of the Amazon. The researchers say the dog has a distinct black line from its nose to its eyes, short ears, and partially webbed feet. They say it thrives in the forest as opposed to grasslands. And if I'm trying to think, Jeff, would you be a dog person, or you are a dog person?
I am a dog person. Well, I like critters, generally, but I love dogs. But it's like I've never heard of the ghost dog before, so this is pretty cool.
And what does that guy kind of look similar to? We were trying to figure it out, like almost like a hyena snout or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Exactly. It's a ghost dog. How are we supposed to know any of this stuff?
Exactly. And they say they would not make very good pets because they're just too darn shy. So there you go. The more you know, Jeff.
The more you know. So there goes the star.